Dedicated to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in February. Learn about our bachelor's degree programs on February 24th, explore master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and graduate certificates on February 26th. Find out about financial aid options and how to apply. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 35, then Tuesday, a chance of rain with a high of 50. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul. From award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, today we got a jam-packed show. We got our friend Dr. Stately coming on, Native American Community Clinic here in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area, and then ending the show with Wendy with her sacred animal updates. And we have Dr. Stately with us right now. Thank you, Dr. Stately. Good to see you. Hey, there you are, Dr. Stately.
No, I was just telling one of my staff members in here to close the door.
Cool. Well, hey, I just got to tell everybody really big congratulations on another MMIR march where there were thousands of people there in support of our missing relatives. And what can we say? What a great organizations that put that on. And it's so well run. And the stories are just, shattering. And we hear them all the time. But, when you hear and see the people that are affected, it really is sad, really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to the march because I didn't have a legitimate excuse, other than the fact that I was going also to the Prairie Island Valentine's Day weekend powwow. So, and I couldn't be in two places at once. But I also, I did catch it on a number of people's feeds, but I did see someone took pictures of it or video of it from like a drone. So it's like it was quite a large outcoming for it. It was like really, really quite beautiful to see. And thankfully, I was like, dang it, it's almost always freezing cold.
Yeah.
every single year we have this march is like freezing cold. And what was it, 50 degrees the other day? Yes, so it was really crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah, I saw a picture of me in 2021, and I had an umbrella, and I remember the streets were icy, and I was voting on something in my legislature at the same time. But it was beautiful out. Everyone needs to be safe and careful. I walked out. I do my 15,000 steps in the morning, and 3 houses down, I wiped out and sprained my knee, so I couldn't do the march, but I was there. And
oh, dang.
it's rough. It's rough getting old, Dr. Stately. Oh, wow.
It is. Yeah, I feel really badly for you. Just kidding.
Oh,
Only a
I
year
believed you for a second. What? I believed you for a second.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm so sorry you're getting old. Gosh, but
Oh, you're right. You're right behind.
yeah, I was just thinking, like the other day, I was thinking, like, you know, like paying attention to my body, and I was like, good Lord, like everything hurts. I was like, it doesn't like hurt terribly, but it's like I feel the ache in my bones, and I wake up in the morning. You know, that's just yeah. I don't like it because in my head I'm still 20, 25 and stacked, you know. So I'm like, when I look in the mirror and see that fat old man looking at me, I'm like, oh wait, who's that guy?
Pictures are worse. It's like, yeah, who is that guy? Is that my old uncle? Wait a minute.
Although somebody ran into me at Sam's yesterday and she said, are you Dr. Stately? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, and she introduced herself. She goes, we've never met in person. We've only seen each other in Zoom. She goes, did you lose weight? And I was like, a pound, maybe, or 2, possibly. But thank you so much.
Right. Well, those cameras add 15 pounds to you, suppose. You know,
This is true. This is why I try to avoid.
And I know we're on camera right now for people that want to watch us on
this
YouTube.
is just me showing my head. See, that's me.
Yeah, okay. And my nose is like 5 pounds now when you see me on the on the radio.
We could have had like a little contest where everybody call in. You know, they'd win something by like guess how much Robert's nose weighs. Closest one to
yeah. Well, how do you do
wild rice or something? I don't know. Anyway,
we got some Leech Lake wild rice to give out.
Yeah, there you go. Red Lake is even better. Just kidding.
Wow.
I know. I was gonna say I saw the pictures on Facebook that Nindana's Green took at the march. She's such an amazing photographer. Every single time I see her posts, it's just like blown away by like. And then I think like, oh, I wonder if she could make me look that good.
Yeah, staff photos. We go.
Lots of filters. She needs lots of filters.
Right. Exactly. Well, how was powwow? I didn't make it out there because again I'm limping around, and it
was really nice. I took my kids, and my son brought his girlfriend. You know, and took my 2 boys, and I took my nephew who's living with us, my partner, and you know, we made our rounds. But my sons, and well, all of them actually, my sons and my partner, they were getting frustrated with me because like every time I'm turning around, I'm seeing somebody that I hadn't seen in a really long time. And my sons are like, everybody, this is so frustrating. Like, are you like, they'd be calling me and wanting me to come over, like, yanking me to go over to a booth to buy them something. Come on. And And I'm like, I'm sorry, I haven't seen this person for a few years. Or I haven't seen this person for, I saw somebody I hadn't seen since I was in high school. I was like, good Lord.
Wow.
So, we had some catching up to do. And I had a really nice conversation with Deuce Larson, the former chair of Lower Sioux and Lower Sioux community. And I got to see my cousin Darwin and his wife Gabby Strong. And we had a really good conversation about the Dakota 38 ceremony they had on the day of the ride, which is a really beautiful experience. I just wanted to tell her how much I really appreciate her putting it together. And just, I got to see all kinds of people that I hadn't seen in a long time, which is really nice. It's always nice to do that.
Yeah, well, and next week we have Enda Young's powwow at Johnson High School, and that is always an amazing thing for our family. Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, so I like these late winter, early spring powwows. They kind of like, start the early kickoff of the powwow season. It's like it's the preview of the summer to come. So it's kind of nice to know powwow season is right around the corner. So.
Yeah, definitely, and the weather is gonna be nice here for another few days, and then it's going to get a little cold. But heck, we get the most snow in March normally, and I know we did last year. And here we are talking about the weather. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was listening to the news today. They're supposed to get like some upwards of 20 inches, possibly 3 feet up in the northern, the Arrowhead over the next 3 days, which is,
that's crazy.
Crazy.
Well, looking at the Mississippi, it's pretty low here, and I know in spring it might be a little more, but they need we're just out of a drought last year, and hopefully those things.
Absolutely. I mean, we should be happy we're getting this much precipitation. We desperately need moisture in Minnesota. Like last summer and spring and summer were really tough.
Hey, it's Monday, and we're here with Dr. Stately. Later on, Wendy's going to come in our animal updates, our sacred animal updates, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break. Please stay with us.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in February. Learn about our bachelor's degree programs on February 24th, explore master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and graduate certificates on February 26th. Find out about financial aid options and how to apply. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are with our friend Dr. Stately, CEO and president of Native American Community Clinic here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. And Dr. Stately, a lot going on. What's your vibe on is ICE really leaving? I hear there was 1,000 people left, ICE agents left, but I still see, I go on iceout.org and I still see them being running around the Twin Cities here. So how much are we to believe what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way you feel. I think so. I listened to news on the radio this morning driving into work, and they were talking about this this morning, discussing this. I think there was a couple different, I think there was somebody from the governor's office talking about this. One of the things that I think is important to know is Holman is stating that ICE is going to leave Minnesota. I think it's important that people remember a couple different things. One is that Department of Homeland Security, which is supposed to be shut down right now, but I think that might be a short-term thing. Congress figures out the spending bill, but DHS, Department of Homeland Security, has multiple immigration enforcement teams. ICE is one of them. ICE is kind of like I love that people call it the personal military of Donald Trump. I think I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
But that was funded through a specific initiative that was part of the Big Beautiful Bill to expand that thing. But we also have Customs and Border Enforcement, which is does the same process. And what I understand to be true, and I don't know that this is actually, it's kind of like, I just saw the lieutenant governor the other day. She came and did a tour of our new building, and we had a really quick chat about this. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to believe that when I see it. It's kind of the same thing everybody else is saying. A reduction, however, of 1,000 and some, I think they said there would be about 1,000 to 1,500 troops that would be leaving within this week. There's that would still leave about 1,500 in the state. I think what was most demonstrative to me was this conversation that I was listening to, where we were talking about, the prior to this, the number of border enforcement people that were in the state was about 150 tops. So we're talking 1,000%,
right?
In terms of the number of people that made this largest group of people during Operation Metro Surge. So a reduction of 1,700 people is still significant, still significantly larger than it was even before Metro Surge. And while the majority of them will leave the state, and eventually, I think, there'll probably be something of a trickle. It's clear that they intend to have a force of some size. He uses the word small force in relationship to 3,000 people. Small could be anything. Small could be 500 people or something like that. But a small force will stay in the state to help protect those individuals who are doing border enforcement and immigration, detainees who are threatened by observers obstructing our people, citizens obstructing that process, right? They've made claims that several hundred border enforcement people, not just in Minnesota, but across the United States over the last several weeks, have been seriously injured. I read an article about this, which is probably likely true, but I think the numbers are pretty probably pretty similar, if not more, on the public side. But no border agents got killed, and 2 U.S. citizens got killed here in Minnesota. So that's important to remember, right? So,
Right. Well, I heard a great analogy. At one time, we had 4,000, and they reduced to 700. And it's like, well, you're getting stung by 4,000 bees and 700 leave. You're still getting stung.
yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah. Either way, it's still painful, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so I just think it's like, but it's an interesting conversation that we're having now at this level about, I think that the thing that I'm really proud of is the amount of sort of like civil action, disobedience, the amount of momentum that we were able to gain here in Minnesota. People out protesting. I did it 1 or 2 times. I did it on that really, really cold day when there was just nothing but ice everywhere. It was like the craziest thing. I mean, ice on the ground. There was ice around too, but there was ice on the ground.
Right.
And and not gonna do that ever again. It was crazy. But one of the things that I just think is, remarkable, Minnesota, we're called a lot of things, like people like to think of us as, I remember when people used to call us, like when I lived in California, people would call us like, oh, flyover state. Like, oh yeah, I've never been to Minnesota, but I flew over it multiple times. It's like, well, from New York to LA, but we do lead a lot of this kind of work in, we have a historical context here in which we sort of have led lots of like, change, significant change in our communities and our countries over the decades. In my 63 years of being alive, a lot of, what's come to a national sort of movement sometimes starts here in Minnesota.
Well, I lived by Summit Avenue when I was a kid, and I remember all the Vietnam protests going to the Capitol down Summit Avenue. And I mean, I grew up watching that, the count. You remember the count on nightly news? It was like, oh, we killed 100 Viet Cong, but 80 of our soldiers were killed, but we're winning because of this count. And, I'm curious, because there's been a report today on how it's really affected the economy with ice here and people not going to work, not going out to eat. How has it affected the clinic? Has there been less people showing up for health stuff?
I think we had a small dips here and there with people not coming in for services, but we were a little bit we had a little bit of protection, I think, because we did not. We had other FQHCs, or community health centers, that were part of a network of community health center providers here in the Twin Cities called the FUN Network, which is FUHN, Federally Qualified Urban Health Network, FUHN. And there were a few, like there were 2 or 3, and a couple, 1 or 2 in St. Paul, I think, and here, right down the road, the Southside Community Clinic, which is really close to where DIW is. I think they're brand new buildings right across from DIW, but one of their patients was taken right out of the parking lot as they were leaving their car and going into their dental room. So we didn't have any of that kind of activity necessarily here. But that day there was a good week. I think there was a Friday, early Friday. I think it was probably the week of January. It was the week that Renee Good was killed. So it would have been that Friday. There was a lot of activity here on the up and down Franklin Avenue on the corridor. Native people were being snatched out of their cars and stuff like that. My son, who was working on our construction project here, came over for lunch, and he was anxious. He didn't want to go back to work afterwards. And in fact, actually, he never went back to work. He was like that and goes, I don't want to deal with that. Anxiety. He has anxiety. He's just got some anxiety issues anyway, but that just amplified that. But I think that a lot of people generally continued to come. We have, this big, huge building that's in front of our existing clinic that kind of blocks the site for, like, you would have had to, it would have required them to have some intelligence, not artificial intelligence, which is what they use, but some actual intelligence to think about, like, oh, maybe we should go around that building and look and see if there's anything there. But the point being is that I think that was a benefit to us that we had this big, huge construction project in front of our little tiny clinic that prevented people from being able to sort of like find the location. But, we worked really hard in the clinic to do things. We were ready and to pivot if we had to move things to telehealth and a few other things. So we've done a really good job of making, things as accessible and easy and feeling safe as much as possible. We texted our patients and said, if you come to the clinic and you can't get to the front door, have somebody drop you off. If you're afraid, those kinds of things, like if you're afraid to walk in the door or walk, like somebody will come meet you, those kinds of things. We trained all of our staff on what to do and how to respond if I showed up at the front door, put up all the signs, private property, you're not allowed to come in here unless you have an appointment, that kind of stuff. So we did all of the work we had to do. But, I think my staff had a significantly difficult, challenging burden and all of that, the anxiety, the compassion and care that they have for the community was really hard for them.
Wow. Hey, we are here with our friend Dr. Stately, Native American Community Clinic here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and our Monday guest. And we have more to talk about. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be back after this short break. Please stay with us. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agejagwa Desnigowaweni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org. Aho, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in February. Learn about our bachelor's degree programs on February 24th, explore master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and graduate certificates on February 26th. Find out about financial aid options and how to apply. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh, every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 35, then Tuesday, a chance of rain with a high of 50. Step into Forts at Children's Theater Company. It's a fort-building wonderland where theatrical elements, evolving light and soundscapes, and towering towers of cardboard boxes set the scene for shared creative play. Forts, now through April 5th at Children's Theater Company. Tickets at childrenstheater.org. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. I'm Bobby Wilson. Witcha.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, welcome back welcome back today. Wow, we're live. I can't. Oh my gosh. Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to it's President's Day to our president, John Greendeer of Ho Chunk Nation. Does an awesome job and is a great guy and very smart. And we're lucky to have him as our president of our nation. And speaking of presidents, Dr. Stately, I'm not a big all-star basketball fan, but I did see Obama was and his wife was at the basketball all-star game this weekend and got a standing ovation, and he didn't even have to ask for it. You're muted here. Hold on. Unmute yourself, please.
Oh, I said, oh, that's awesome. I was going to say, if I had known that, I would have gone to the game. I had the opportunity to get some free tickets, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Powell instead. So,
where was the All-Star game?
Because I think it was downtown, wasn't it?
No,
was it with the Timberwolves? Oh, it was different. You're talking about. I got NBA team. I got opportunity to do the Timberwolves game yesterday or the day before. I was like, no, I'm gonna just no. Like, it's even with the free tickets, I end up spending way more money on like hot dogs, popcorn, drinks.
Well, you have to think of your buddy Robert Pilot here. He would go with you.
Yeah,
and he pays his own way. Oh,
I might do that if he hadn't acknowledged that there's another president right here in his presence. I'm just kidding.
Well, we did say president and CEO of a Native American Community Development.
I'm not trying to make myself more important. Not trying to make myself more important than Obama, but I am.
Yeah.
A president.
Well, I did get that picture with him, and I got to meet him for 13 seconds, and it was. I think he liked me. I'm not too sure.
He told me that you were just okay.
Yeah. But you've met a lot of people. I don't know. They always say they have that aura, and Obama had that aura. And I was going to tell him off about Standing Rock and tell his buddy, I was mad at him about Standing Rock and not ending that, and tell his buddy to free Leonard Peltier, and then he put his hand out and said, "Very nice to meet you," and I wanted to hug and kiss him, and then 13 seconds later I was gone. It was like,
wow.
It was crazy.
That's that would have been interesting to get pictures of you hugging and kissing him. But Michelle might have came after you. But I was gonna say, I forgot, like, he did not pardon Leonard Peltier, which I as well was really disappointed of. I thought of anybody that would do it, I thought for sure it would be him, right?
Yeah.
And then, here comes Biden, bless his little
last second.
I know, last second. Like, what did he have, like a countdown? He was like signing the thing as like the buzzer was about to go off.
Yeah,
that was pretty remarkable. In fact, I thought it was just like not a real thing. I was like, that's like
right.
When I heard it in the news, I was like, please, it's like the last day.
Yeah. And yeah, and it helps to have people in his cabinet who are Native American that really talk to Biden about that. I believe Clinton was going to um, pardon him, but the FBI got in his face because if you remember in the '90s, they had all those
Yeah.
documentaries about him, and
Mm-hmm.
Robert Redford was producing them, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of movement, and then all of a sudden, no.
Yeah. I remember those days. It was interesting times for sure. But I was gonna say, or ask you this question, like, Amy Klobuchar announced her candidacy for governor for Minnesota last week. I think I want to say Friday or Wednesday. I can't remember. Anyway, I got my little email, my request for a donation in my text messages the same day, asking me to be a founding donor. So I'll let you guess as to whether or not I gave to her.
Well, you were going to ask me a question. That's why I went double screen.
I was going to ask you, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how are you feeling? I think I have some mixed feelings about her as a governor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to lose that seat to a Republican because I think that would be demonstrably challenging for us here across Turtle Island and in the little state of Minnesota. I think it would be really challenging for us to kind of continue to move some of the work we've been moving. I worry about what a Republican governor and possibly Republican-controlled legislature might do, or not legislature, but it's a really tight chamber right now. Shelley Buck winning representative last couple weeks ago makes that division a little bit less tight, but which is good. But I'm a little bit anxious about where this will go. So
we got one extra vote in the Senate, and then it's tied in the House.
In the House, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really have so mixed emotions about her, but I believe, and this is just my belief, I think as a governor you can make, claims to do things and let's go this direction, but the House and the Senate do the work and make the bills. They just sign it.
Yeah.
And so we really got to get a blue wave here and push Amy more or less. She's moderate. She wants to kill wolves. She's for a wolf hunt. And those are things that are hot buttons here on Native Roots Radio. And so to get our ducks in a row with our legislators, because they make the bills. We get to sign them. So that's my feeling is let's have a blue tsunami and a progressive tsunami.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, I think that she can be talked to and persuaded, right? She's a moderate. She's a middle of the road. She leans a little bit more conservative, I think, than probably like.
Well, if you remember, Walz was that way too, because he was the first Democrat down in by the Mayo Clinic that ever won, or not ever won, but won down there.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to believe that he picked a sensible lieutenant governor to help him figure out like how to become a little bit more sort of reasonable, which is great.
And he has become reasonable. Other than Line 3, I think that was one of their big conflicts that he let Line 3 go, and she was upset about that, which was good.
Yeah, I mean, not every. I would like to believe that probably like in the White House, every once in a while, Trump slaps that other guy around a little bit, and he doesn't like it, and vice versa, and that's probably just the way it goes in politics, I would imagine. But one of the things I think that it can happen is that she could be persuaded. She gets enough people behind her in something like, who vote for her, remind her that she can be voted out of office. She's a reasonable woman. I've had some conversations with her before around healthcare related issues, on like panel discussions and stuff like that. So I think that, I'm going to support her, but I'm not going to throw all my resources towards her. I have a budget that I use every single year. I have like this is how much I can afford to give to, races and stuff. The majority of my donation money that is going on right now is going to 2 people. It's of course going to the LG as she runs for the Senate seat.
Yep.
Tina Smith is vacating, so she gets a monthly donation from me, and she got a big one to start with. And then I also give money to Mary Petrola, who is an Alaska Native woman running for that seat, that Senate seat in Alaska, because I think it's an important seat to win, and she's positioned well to win it. Alaska Native people in Alaska have a large number of people. They have more Alaska Native people that live there than non-Native people. So if she gets her campaign moving and she can mobilize those voters and get them to the polls, then I think she could win, and that would be a tremendous win for us. She's a Democrat. She's a reasonable woman. She's been doing other stuff. I've been following her a little bit, and I give money to like these people sort of kind of out in other states that I think will be able to swing small. I've been paying attention to James Carville, which he tells us a lot. It's you got to be paying attention to those local races too. Those local races can really make some significant changes. So I've been following other people, and I give 15, 20 bucks, $30 here to people in Florida and Georgia. I've been giving to some of these other races. I gave some money to a couple of people running in Texas. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think with the Democratic progressive help, we can move Amy more towards a progressive, legislation, signing that an agenda. I don't want a Republican in there. I don't want Angie Craig in there. That was Wendy unmuting. Oh, go ahead, Wendy.
That was the Republicans listening.
You should ask Wendy what you just asked me. Do you want to jump on real quick?
Sure.
I already know what her answer is going to be.
Yeah, ask her, because I soft pedaled it, but she'll let you know.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things I think that would be something we could work on. It's like Minnesotans love wolves, right? They don't, we have 11 tribes. There's some things we can probably push back on and stuff, but I mean,
the wolf.
Yeah, she has also, of course, the record from the 90s of when she
terrible
was
attorney
general,
right?
Attorney General, yeah, when she was just locking people up for all kinds of drug offenses, and the preponderance of people who are Black and Indigenous. It's so she has that stuff she has to dig herself out of, and I think that she can be convinced to understand.
I hope so. I hope so, because I roughly got 68% of the vote for her last election, and that's a lot of votes from people that aren't progressive too.
Yeah, and I'm putting all my resources and my support behind the LG, not just because I know Peggy personally, but because I see the work she does in community, right? I see her going out into community. I see her everywhere, and I see her. And you know what? I've been living in Prior Lake for 16 years. I've never seen Angie Craig anywhere locally in my neighborhood or anywhere in the last 2 elections. And so I gave her some money last election. I'm not giving her anything this year.
Yeah, I hear you. Want to hang on with Wendy's Sacred Animals segment? We can grill her.
I'll do some Sacred Animals. I want to howl. I get to howl, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. Oh, he remembers. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Up next, Wendy Pilot with their Sacred Animal update, and Dr. Stanley and I will be grilling you, Wendy.
Stay with us.
All right. Oh. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in February. Learn about our bachelor's degree programs on February 24th, explore master's degrees, doctoral degrees, and graduate certificates on February 26th. Find out about financial aid options and how to apply. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agejagwa Desnigowaweni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org. Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Oh,
no.
Oh no.
And then you can do a boo-boo bear, too, because you mentioned boo. Go get some picnic baskets, Dr. Staley.
Picnic baskets.
Yeah. Hey, I want to introduce my awesome, beautiful wife. Wendy's been an animal advocate for all her life, and she's a co-founder here of Native Roots Radio. And I miss the days, I say this almost a lot, of Pilot's Progressive Party, our old radio show once a week on AM 950. That was fun.
Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani, and that means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I am a policy volunteer for Humane World for Animals, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level, and it's always my pleasure to do that. So, yes, what you guys were talking about earlier on Humane Lobby Day, which, there goes Wanda. Everything always happens. The animals always come alive during the Sacred Animals segment.
They do.
But, yes, during Humane Lobby Day, I'll give you more information about that when I know more. We will be lobbying our legislators for humane laws that we want passed here in Minnesota. But right now, in February, I'm really surprised to learn so many animals are mating and having babies right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So cottontail rabbits. Well, we have a whole bunch of rabbits in our backyard, like our whole backyard.
Wascally rabbits.
Our whole backyard is full of rabbit poop. And
are they procreating like rabbits?
Poop, but
what?
Yeah, they're supposed to eat the first poop that comes out, and they eat that for the nutritional reasons. It's really important for them to do that. But anyway, cottontail rabbits give birth in February, and the babies are born with no fur, and they're blind. And the mom only visits the nest twice a day. And the reason why she does that is to avoid attracting predators.
Oh.
Yeah, so she leaves those babies alone for a long time. She feeds them for 5 minutes and then she leaves.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Doesn't sound like a very good mom, but that's what she does to avoid predators. So
I feed my kids for at least 7 minutes. So then
What was that? For 7 minutes?
Say that again, Dr. Staley.
I said I feed my kids for at least 7 minutes, and then I leave.
At least 7 minutes, right? Really? So what
And then you
happens
hop
is
away.
a lot of people will find these abandoned nests with baby bunnies in it, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh no, the nest is abandoned, but it's not. It's not abandoned. She will come back. This is a really sad fact that dogs find and destroy 80% of rabbit nests.
Oh.
Yeah, dogs
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. Off leash dogs, their walk, they find the bunnies, and that's it.
Wow.
Then the baby bunnies are gone.
Ours doesn't. Ours is a domestic dog.
we feed
We feed the heck out of the
we
dog.
have one bunny in the backyard, like it's a wild rabbit,
He
but
lives under that table.
hardly doesn't even move when I go out there. Like he just like hops over like a little ways, and then I just walk right by him.
Well,
He
the
doesn't
crow
even
has
care.
you trained. When we go out, the crow is crowing at you, and you got to go back in and give him peanuts.
No. So here,
Do you have a little crow friend that shows up at your house all the time?
we do. He
Oh, that's
stands on
cool.
the rooftop of the garage and hawks at us until we throw out corn and peanuts to him. And then he's like,
got us trained.
yeah, but I wish he would bring
Yeah,
me
he sure
gifts.
does.
I read all these stories about
Some
crows
diamond rings or
bringing people like little trinkets or little shiny things at the time.
They do. They do.
Yeah, but I've been feeding these animals for years now. I haven't
Wendy's mad.
gotten anything.
Wendy's mad
It's
that
like,
she's not
the
getting
next
anything.
time I see a crow out
Wow.
there, like tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's up? I would like to. I would
Send me
like
a
a little
spoon or
You could
something.
reciprocate.
There you go.
You know, come on.
Oh my
Red
God.
foxes also give birth.
He was
in
a comedian
February.
too.
Yes, red fox. Red foxes give birth in February. They're also born deaf and blind and completely dependent. So I think like Mother Nature didn't do like a really good job about having these poor little animals being born in February. They have no fur, they're blind, they're totally dependent, and the rabbit mother only comes twice a day for 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. Mother Nature needs to do a better job.
Well, I'm still like shocked from seeing that eagle swoop up a squirrel right in front of us, like 2 feet away. I'm still.
When did that happen?
That was a couple of years.
Well, I mean, these animals have to eat. They have to eat.
I know they do. I know, but it was like right in front of us, Dr. Stately, and it was like this bald eagle
It was beautiful, and then also
we
what?
were like, why is it flying? Why is it soaring so low? And then it like swooped down and picked up.
Okay, well, that's your first clue. As soon as you see an eagle coming really low, you need to know it's coming for food.
I know. Well,
I thought he was saying hi because I'm in the eagle clan, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
so the eagles are also right now. They're sitting on
Yeah,
their
they are.
yes, and they're
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. The spring is like
Yeah.
the most beautiful time. They're just everywhere. Yeah.
Yep. So right now they're and then they take turns sitting on the eggs, and then they hunt and they bring back food. So we have to really be careful because a lot of the eagles, like they'll go down on the roads to get roadkill if they can't find
Mhm.
anything, and people,
Mhm.
you can't run them over. You got to swerve
Yeah.
or slow down, and then so they'll be born soon. But yeah, I mean, if
I
we
always-
have like a February really, really cold or a lot of snow, I mean, they'll sit on those eggs and will not move and protect them the whole time. It's amazing.
You know where that nest is by our house, right?
Yes.
Where we vote.
Mississippi River Boulevard.
So I always walk by there every morning and feel very sacred because there's a couple of them flying over, and I go, "Oh, they're flying over. It's our relatives." Oh.
Sometimes if you look up there, you can see their head pop up, and we'll see. We'll see.
Wow, that's
The
pretty
babies-
cool. You guys live over by the river, though, right? You live really close to the river, not too far away.
Yeah.
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 For
I see eagles all the time in Park Lake. They're really quite remarkable. So
they're beautiful.
Well, we
Yeah,
didn't
beautiful.
we
Really
didn't
cool.
see them as kids, though, Dr. Stately. Did you, Wendy?
No,
I
no,
didn't
I
because
in
of
New
the
York, we didn't have any eagles.
the DET.
on Long Island.
Oh.
No, the only eagles you'd see in New York would probably be like the band,
The Eagles, the band? Is that what
Yeah,
you
like
said?
Hotel California. Welcome to the Hotel California. So I have a question because you're talking about bunnies, and while I was thinking about bunnies, so I have big, huge
Bad bunny.
bunny. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got a bad bunny story. I'll tell you later. But I have a big bad bunny that lives in a bush in front of my house. And I was shoveling the last time we had snow. I was shoveling the snow and I threw it into the yard, and a big pile. I went into the bush, and he came running out. And I swear to God, he was like huge. He was like this big, and he was like he ran across the yard, my entire yard. He ran across the yard in like 4 steps, like.
Wow.
But my dog, though, not off leash. He's Alaskan Shepherd and half wolf, and he will go and sniff them out. He's like a little, but yeah, he likes to try to chase the bunnies. He yanks my arm out of the socket almost every single time.
Oh my God. Well, like I said, it said right here, 80% dogs find and destroy 80% of rabbit nests.
Oh, that's sad. I thought you were going to say they kill like 80% of the rabbits. I have a question for you though. So we're having a men's camp.
10 seconds.
Yeah, we're having a men's camp this Sunday, and we're going to learn how to snare rabbits, skin them, and make soup. I know. No. Well, these are traditional Ojibwe foods. We're trying to.
Yummy.
I could make tofu taste the same.
Rabbits, they procreate a lot. Not too much like red Lakers, but
Oh no! Oh, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully.
Hey, my dad was a red Laker. I can say that.
We'll end that segment.
And thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that